Hi everyone, and welcome back to my new video. It's been a while, but today I'd like to present this model here. This is the Chelsea 5 by Crockett&Jones in black rough out suede. They call this material, which is it's essentially a calf suede that has been shaven by a shard of glass. I think they do it. They may have other methods of doing it, and essentially it's like I said, the suede side, which has been sort of essentially roughed out, I guess, which makes it more durable, and that is then covered with a leather grease, which they call dubbin. And what that does is it creates this more water-resistant material, which is then used for the more casual shoes and boots, which is great for the winter and autumn selection of boots and shoes. So this is one of those. So essentially what I wanted is a Chelsea boot that is really versatile, that I can wear with my jeans, I can wear to work, but I can also wear on the weekends. That looks, quite good and quite smart without being over the top, and quite casual at the same time. So I thought this was essentially the most sort of ideal model in the collection for what I wanted. And yeah, like I said, I've had this boot now for 2 years, and I just wanted to share my experience with you. So as you can see, it still looks pretty good. 2 years isn't a long time at all for boots like these. The sole's been well worn in, but other than that, it's in pretty good condition. This boot is made on the 335 last, I think it is, and so a classic sort of Chelsea shape here. So what were my experience like? So first of all, I bought these shoes actually when I was in London just visiting, and I wore them for the first couple of days that I wore them. I have to say, these are a 9.5, which is my standard size. And they do fit quite tight, which they have to in a way because, you can't lace them up, obviously. So they will have a tighter fit than maybe your regular your regular size Crockett&Jones shoes. And I have to say, the first couple of days, they really hurt my my instep. They were so tight on the instep that it was painful to wear them, even not walking, but simply, sitting down in my car when I drove back home a couple of hours. It was quite painful. So I was a little bit worried. This was the first 9.5 Crockett&Jones boot that I wore that really wasn't comfortable off the bat, to the point of me even, like I said, being worried that they wouldn't even break in. However, it did take a couple of weeks. It probably took about 2 weeks of wearing them, on short walks here and there, and everything, and it was a bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but they did break in towards, after about 2 weeks, and now they're really comfortable, and I can wear them for, several days, repeatedly when I'm, traveling or something, and I just have these pair of boots with me. And that's no problem at all. So, so if you do happen to go with these, just bear in mind, or you try them on in the shop, if they do feel a little bit uncomfortable, that's sort of, I guess, by default, because they want to, you need them to fit snugly. And other than that, they're really sturdy. They're really, they're everything that I wanted from them. And I have to say, I'm very happy with them. And I think, as always, happy with the quality control. Like I said, whenever you do have to refinish them, essentially what it is, they call it the Dubbin by Sapphire, which they sell at the shop, but you can also, get obviously elsewhere. And every, couple of wears or whatever, when they start to dry out, you just reapply a finish to them, a layer of this Dubbin to them, and it makes them sort of more water resistant again, which is great when you're going out, like I said, in the rain. You can really tell that these it keeps them nice and dry. All right, well, that's essentially it. Thanks for watching, and once again, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.